takes a real big heart to do this. And you gave her her heart. The thing I want to tell you is thank you.
Welcome.
And if we didn't have people that care, she wouldn't be here. Nobody on this planet lives alone. We're all dependent on each other. Her whole life now is in front of her. Thank you.
It was here, right here where we treated you. Approximately 40 minutes we did CPR on you.
Actually, she had passed my wife, and she said, "Ima, I can't stop to talk to you. I'm on my way to babysit." And when my wife came around the corner, she saw Shoshana, who had collapsed in the middle of the street. Basically, the first person that saw her, miracle number one, was your secretary, who was on her marpeset, and she was on the phone with you.
And in the middle of the conversation, she said to me there was a lady that fell to the street. Within 20 to 30 seconds, I got to the place. And within the first few minutes, she was still breathing. Afterwards, the situation started to get worse. She stopped breathing and also lost her pulse, and we started doing full CPR on her. I remember you praying behind us and giving us energy to go on.
Anyways, you stabilized her. Thank you so much. And you were able to transport her after all that work. This is only the beginning. Her whole life now is in front of her. She'll get married, she'll have children. And this I have to thank Moshe for, and Yoav, and all the people that helped, and the Tormim, who go with 24 hours a day. It's like no sleep.
United Hatzalah of Israel has over 1,100 certified EMTs, paramedics, and doctors, who are all volunteers spread out all over Israel, from the Golan Heights in the north down to Eilat in the south. United Hatzalah volunteers respond to any emergency call, and by this, filling the gap between the time of the emergency call and the time the local ambulance service arrive. Their goal is to get to any emergency call within 72 seconds. Hatzalah volunteers come from all sectors of Israeli population, Jewish and non-Jewish, religious and secular, and treat the sick and wounded without discrimination of gender, race, or nationality. United Hatzalah volunteers respond to approximately 250 calls a day, over 100,000 a year. The calls include treating the sick and the wounded in times of peace and in times of war.
I got the call about a bombing in a bar mitzvah. I got there within, well, it was probably 2 minutes. I found a whole family on the floor, lots of yelling, lots of blood, people running away. When I saw one of the children laying on the floor, around 9 months old, he was unconscious, he wasn't breathing. I started CPR mouth to mouth. I was trying to hear his crying. I was trying to get him to start breathing again. I got nothing. After 20 minutes of work, all of a sudden we felt some pulse. His heart started beating again. It was the most amazing thing I ever felt in my life. To have a 9-month-old baby on your hands and without pulse, no breathing, and all of a sudden you feel the pulse again. It's one of the most tremendous things a person could ever feel in his life.
We went to the beach, and Daniel went into the water for a swim and suddenly turned over. And what happened was he started swallowing water and started to drown.
The first 2 or 3 minutes are the most important minutes to save someone's life. And that's when the volunteers of United Hatzalah come into the story.
I got to the place, I went in. It was approximately 20 to 30 seconds from the time that I got the call. He brought him out and asked, "Whose child is this?" And I just turned around and looked and saw that it was Daniel. I had advanced CPR equipment I came with, and we started doing CPR on him. He wasn't breathing and he had no pulse.
The equipment we get from Hatzalah, if it's defibrillators, if it's other medical equipment, if it's bikes that help us get to the place as soon as possible, all those things give us the ability to really create a network of life-saving around the country and give the best available treatment that modern medicine allows to those patients in need.
The satisfaction is tremendous, and when you see the results, it gives you even more will to volunteer. He saved my kid. That's the most important thing. After a person sees something like this up close, the Hatzalah organization is something out of this world. I received a call about a child choking in school. I started choking. I screamed and yelled and started vomiting blood. He turned completely blue and was close to losing consciousness. I grabbed him and started doing the Heimlich maneuver, pressing like this from bottom to top 6 or 7 times. While I was hugging him, like now, the cork popped out, and I was very relieved. Since then, we thank and pray for the United Hatzalah and to our guardian angel, Gilad Hanun. Thousands of lives have been saved thanks to the precious United Hatzalah volunteers. United Hatzalah of Israel is a non-profit organization who does not charge for any of their services. They need you to help. Come be a partner in the life-saving work in Israel. Come help us save lives. Everyone who sees the movie and hears our story will know it's for real, and that it could happen to anyone. Donate, give, get to know this organization. It's the most important one there is.
Nobody on this planet lives alone. We're all dependent on each other. Kol Yisrael Arei B'Tzeleh L'Sefer.